What the fuck?
What's going on, guys? Big Al's Bike and Auto here, coming at you. And I think it's about time we wake my wagon up from its unintended slumber down here underneath my deck. You guys remember I was having some issues with this, with the way it was running. We were thinking maybe it was a coil pack or a number of things. Well, my solution was just put it underneath the deck to keep it out of the weather until I had time to deal with it. Let's see what happens. It's been at least 3 weeks. Woo! What in the hell is going on now? So I don't see anything out of the ordinary here. The airbox is on. I mean, this is exactly how I left it. So there's no reason why it shouldn't start. Now, one of the things I want to fix today is, this was a Band-Aid. Look at that. It's probably my problem. This vacuum leak over here. I didn't have any vacuum hose the day this popped off. So I just taped it on and... Man, she is putting up a fight. There we go. It's running like a dump truck, but it's running. Woo! Doesn't sound too happy, huh? There goes the idle. Let's pick it up now. Again, I doubt that's helping. There may be a few more I haven't seen. But my 3300 Century with similar mileage and year has no issue starting and running here in the cold. So we know something's up with the wagon. So it looks like I got a bad oil leak now at the back of the engine I never had before. Valve cover gasket. It's leaking pretty good. Definitely smelling. And it's been sitting here for a while. So it's had time to leak down and collect on the exhaust manifold. Alright, so simple as that. Threw some new vacuum hose on there. Alright, remember how I told you guys that when I got this here to New England, it wouldn't start. I squirted some starting fluid in, and for whatever reason, decided to catch on fire. Here's the air filter. Well, now you can see a little bit better, which is charred pretty bad. And you look inside here as well, this little screen that's built into the throttle body. It's all dirtied up. So I've got all this baloney off, and I'm going to go ahead and take these 4 Phillips screws out so I can remove this assembly here where the mass airflow is to get to the throttle body. Get in there and really clean it right and check for any damage to the mass airflow. If not, look at that oil leak, huh? If not, I'm going to put it all back together and hope for the best. So what do you guys think? Either that's black inside, that throttle body, that's just the color of it, or that's how much buildup, particularly soot, is in there from my little fire mishap. This thing even smells burnt inside. Where the, I don't know if it's a mass airflow in these or if it's the older iteration of it. But I'm going to do what I can to clean all this up anyway. I've already came this far, whether it needed it or not. Certainly this does, but see if we can make any improvement here. Here I am trying to pop off this wiring connector here, and I realize that this melted when I had the fire. It was a pretty, I mean, I don't want to call it a fire, but there was flames. You know, there was flames in this entire area and it melted quite a bit of shit like this. Wonder if there's any damage to the wiring here that could explain the way it's running. Looks like the insulation's okay. Hard to tell from this angle, but obviously I gotta clean this thing. It just smells like a fire, and that can't be giving a good reading if this thing even works anymore at all. Just in the end of the world if it doesn't. I don't want to say it looks terrible. That prong there looks a little dirty. Could be from that fire and the soot that went up the intake. That's dirty, obviously. You can just see the charring right there. This one already had a crack in it, and I put that Gorilla Tape over it to keep water out. So who knows, it might have been bad to begin with. The other thing I'm concerned about, you can see this is all melted. Those prongs look okay. The wiring, now I can get a better look at it. I haven't even looked at it yet, to be honest. It's freezing out here. I really wish I didn't start this today, but then again, it's not going to be warm until, what, April? So I kind of have to get this done, or this thing's going to sit and deteriorate even more. I mean, those wires look okay to me. Some of you were saying it was the coil pack. I don't think so, guys. It's way over here. Never had an issue with it before. Nothing should have happened to it while it was just sitting on a transport truck, and the fire never came over here. So, do I know if that's the original coil pack? I could check my service history in this vehicle. It should be at 59,000 miles. There's no reason for it to be changed. You can see it looks like a wire. This one's been changed at some point. But I would be surprised if that was it. Well, I didn't think this would be interesting, but check out how much crud that soot from the fire is coming out of this mass airflow housing. Crazy. No wonder it's running so shitty. And that mass airflow, let me tell you, that second prong on there wasn't black. That was just soot. Nice and clean. So I think we'll definitely see some improvement. May not be the root of the issue, but certainly this was necessary. It's a shame. You can see that charring is permanent on here, but I don't think it should have any effect as long as this is clean. It's just a discoloration. So I'm going to keep spraying the hell out of this and until it starts coming out clean. I might be out here for a while. This is looking a hell of a lot better. Remember that was black in there before. Now it's whatever color it's supposed to be, I guess. Dark gray. Do you know this is made by Hitachi? In Japan? Come on, GM. I'm Mr. Patriot here, and you're putting this shit in my car? Unbelievable. Alright, so what a difference. Take a look inside there now. Remember before that was completely black with soot and carbon buildup from the little fire I had over here, and probably just 30 years of this vehicle only being driven on the street and not the highway. That's what the original owner told me, who I bought it from directly. She said she never ever once, I'm not sure if I believe that entirely, but she said she had never driven it on the highway. It was all city miles, which, this being a 59,000 mile vehicle that was allegedly all city miles, that's like having 180,000 miles or more highway. This is nice and clean now too, really clean. You can see I really got in there, and I don't know if it's my phone that's dark or what, but this is spotless. Everything is spotless, and I bought a new air filter as well. What I'm going to do right now is put everything back together, and we'll fire her up. I'm sure for the first few seconds, maybe even a minute or two, it's going to run kind of funny because of all the cleaner that I just sprayed through the throttle body, cleaning out that blade area. But hopefully it'll sort itself out and run better than ever. Hopefully. So everything's back together. New air filter. You guys saw that I cleaned the throttle body and that whole mass airflow assembly. I will say, I'm not going to say anything yet actually. It was missing before. You'd hear it from the exhaust, pop, 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 pop. That sounds pretty normal to me so far. Let's give it a minute to, I think they say you're supposed to rev it a little bit, let it burn all the crap out. Ah, you bastard. Still missing. Again, that could just be, I just pulled a muscle in my leg. Could just be that it's still burning the carbon out. Being optimistic. It's still doing the same crap. We'll see. I'm going to let it run. I'm not going to jump to conclusions yet. I'm going to let it run for a few minutes, let it warm up. And I'll try to take it for a spin. And I got to say, if this doesn't solve it, I'm kind of leaning the side of the coil pack, perhaps. Because we took care of everything over here. Again, I could throw in a new mass airflow, or I'm not going to say new. Find a junkyard one for a few bucks. And I'll probably do the same with the coil. I mean, well, what are these, $30 on Amazon for the coil pack? Maybe it's got bad gas in it. You know, it's been a few months now, so I've really driven it. So, we'll see, but I don't know, the exhaust, the engine idles differently than it used to, but it's still doing that pop. And you can hear it. It's very choppy, the acceleration. You actually see the camera vibrate? That's how much the engine vibrates when you accelerate. It's missing. Maybe some sea foam. Let me know what you guys think in the comments at the end of this video. But we're getting there. You know, the thing is with these older vehicles that are OBD1 or none, you gotta just start with the simple stuff like this. It doesn't really cost much. That doesn't do it. You know, then you try something else, You start with the easy stuff, then you start working your way up. So we started with the easy stuff. We did a basic throttle body cleaning, little tune-up over here. No real difference at all that I've noticed yet. It seems to idle stronger, but, you know, obviously that unsmooth acceleration's no good. Let me know what you think. Maybe it's a fuel issue. I don't know. Alright guys, one more thing. I think it'll be helpful in trying to help me figure out what's going on. I mentioned this in the last video I did of the wagon, but for those of you who are new to the channel, or maybe you missed that one, let's recap one more time. If I give it a lot of gas, do you hear that? All that popping? It's like a backfire, it almost stalls out. That is the symptom that will not go away. We just did, see? It is really struggling. It's doing, honestly, it's doing no better. In fact, it's doing worse than it was before. Now, again, I don't fret all the work I just did because that's preventative maintenance anyway the vehicle needed. No matter what it is that we figure out, I would have wanted to clean all that crap out of the throttle body and the mass airflow and change the air filter anyway. So, not a big deal. A little disappointing that it didn't fix it, but certainly something that needed to be done. So you guys just heard that popping, that backfire. Maybe that'll help you narrow it down to what it is and help me out. And again, if you're thinking it's still the coil pack or whatever, just comment it again. I'll probably just pick up all that stuff if I get it for the right price, because I have so many of these vehicles that use these 3300 and 3800 engines that I don't use it on this one and it doesn't do any good, I'll use it on one of the other ones. So I'll probably go ahead and just pick up all those parts that we need, but comment below anyway. Alright guys, that's it for real. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for the next one.